you know, we've moved on. I mean, it's great recognition for our kids. It's great recognition for our program to beat the quality program of Ohio State. You know, now, you know, I'd like to think our defense has been pretty consistent over the years, and this was just you know, because of who we beat, maybe we're getting a little bit more national attention. But you know, I'd like to think everybody saw that, you know, even though we haven't been on the, you know, in the top 10 like we've been there for a stretch, that you know, we're still playing pretty good defense.
How important is the trust you have with your corners that they can make plays in space last week, even this week, to open things up for you to call with, you know, the front 7, front 8 guys? Well,
it's big time, you know, and I personally think we got the best corner in the country playing for us in number 11, you know, when it's all said and done. And you know, he actually, we gave him one of our awards because, you know, we put him on an island all night. Did a hell of a job when it's all said and done. Am I allowed to say that? I mean, I can't say that. But
running.
No, you know, yeah, it does. It frees me up a little bit. But at the same time, we're playing good people, and we've got to be careful about that. That if you just keep putting them on an island, putting them on an island, putting them on an island, you know, we've got to get some pressure too. You know, and to get somebody in the guy's face, make him throw, you know, with people around him. That type of thing, you know, that helps when you put pressure on the quarterback. That way, helps those corners and those guys that you put on the island. But yeah, to have good people like that on the edges, you know, that may free you up to do some things, you know, pressure-wise, or to do some different things up front, and that can turn into pressure.
We've talked about the fact that, not that you're not good, but that maybe a year away from this offense really being something special. Do you feel at all ahead of schedule right now, based on the way they're playing?
No, we feel a little behind, actually. Just like I've said, we're doing some things better, but we're not consistently doing things better. We need to get that. If we can ever get to that point of consistency, and you know, practice is a direct reflection of what you are. At times we practice really, really well, and at times we fade off, and then we practice well, then we fade off. And that's exactly what occurs a little bit with us right now in the games. We'll execute, then we take a little pause, and then we figure it out again. And to be great, it's got to be an everyday, every minute deal, and we got to get this right out here. And it's getting right. Is it perfect yet? No, but as soon as we can get that handled, it'll start translating. It'll start translating over, and we got to buy into it. I think the guys have seen it. You know, we've practiced much better than we practiced last year, but we're still not at the so-called, I would say, championship standard yet.
It looked like he wanted to throw on that reverse, and he pulled it down. Is it tough for a non-quarterback to do and not try to force it in?
That's why we put him in. We said all week long that in a critical moment in the game, where the ball, it just ended up, the ball was on the right hash. I think the ball was on the 20-some-odd yard line, or 30. It was right around it. But we said anywhere between the 30 and the 20. First opportunity in a critical situation, we're going to run the reverse pass. And we got the snap, ran around the end, and we said all week long, if we didn't have it, we need to make a great decision. Either it's going to be a great throwaway, or you got to run it. And as usual, Sam does what he does.
With a guy like that, do you wonder? I mean, you've been able to generate really important roles for him as a tight end / fullback type role, but and coming out of the backfield and catching balls and things like that. But do you kind of wonder how people miss on a guy like that, for maybe at a program where he could even play even more and have a bigger role?
I'm glad he's here.
Going back to Sam for a second, he caught that ball on the sideline. They said he couldn't see it in the lights. It's like the Michael Brewer sort of jump pass on the sideline. When you watched that on film, what did you think of Michael's decision to throw that one?
He got a minus and a good job. You got to be very, you know, you can't take guys' aggressiveness away, but you also can't turn the ball over. And that was a no good job. That makes sense.
Perfect.
Frank said.
That's perfect. Yeah.
You said you found out that Michael could take a hit and deliver the throw. Still, you know, you haven't had a lot of time to work with him, but what else have you found out that maybe you weren't, you're surprised about, or that you weren't sure of?
That was the only thing.
Yeah.
You got to see everything you needed to see during training camp, and But we didn't want to hit Mark and we didn't want to hit Michael, because if you lose one of those guys right now, we wanted to. We really did, because there's nothing that you can't, regardless of what you do and how much you evaluate and all that, that's the difference between a good quarterback and a great quarterback, is how they can handle when guys are really hitting you, when you're not in the pink jersey or yellow jersey or whatever we use here, the yellow jersey. And I know he's tough, and he keeps his head down, he keeps his eyes down the field, and he doesn't flinch, and you got the living dog beat out of him, to be quite honest with you. And you found a way to keep going, and the guys that I've had that have been really, really good have been that way.